Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL Double Game Week 34 live stream with me, Holly Shand. Apologies for being a couple of minutes late. Seems to have some technical problems this morning, couldn't get the new camera working, so we're back on the old one. It's going to be an interesting deadline stream, this one, because I've not made my transfers yet and I'm still a little bit undecided on what to do. So got some big decisions to make before the deadline. It's good to see so many of you in the chat already. If you are in, come and say hello and let's get the stream to 100 likes. In terms of my transfers, I've got 2 free transfers. I'm not going to get Salah though, that's the big decision. So I don't quite know exactly what I'm going to do at the moment. I've got a rough idea. But if you are here and you're in the chat, make sure that you're liking the stream, subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already, and also if you can think about dropping your questions in, and I'll try and get as many questions answered before the deadline. We've got 56 minutes to go, so I'm looking forward to seeing what dilemmas everyone has got this week. In terms of my team then, as I said at the top, I've got a few decisions to make. I am getting a tweet deck open for you guys as well. Hopefully any early team news that drops will have it covered. I'm not expecting a lot though, because we've got to remember that the first kickoff is West Ham playing first today, and I'm not expecting that's going to affect any of our decisions too much, but you never know. So thank you everyone for joining. If I hop over to my team next, this is how I am at the moment. So the 2 free transfers that I'm looking at making are Henry out for Trent Alexander-Arnold, because I've got no Liverpool players at the moment and I need one. I can't get to Salah without dropping Kane and Fernandes, which I don't want to do. I don't fancy Jota after seeing that he's got a little bit of a knock and he wasn't in training. So there's enough there for me to think, don't go there. So then I've got that decision to make of where do I go, and Trent seems like the one that makes sense at the moment, so it is Trent that I'm going to be going with. But then I've also got a bit of a decision to make on who to bring in, because I've got 5.9. I did have 6.1 because I didn't make any transfers overnight. I've got 5.9 million to play with, so I can get Solanke in there, or I can go down to Greenwood as a dead spot on my bench. So I'm just going to put a poll up to see what you guys think I should do in terms of that transfer. I'm a bit disappointed I couldn't get the camera working this morning. It's just my computer was on go slow, got here too late, had to restart it, and it just was not loving the new camera, which is a shame, but it's good to see so many of you in already, and I can see lots of you have dropped questions as well. So I'm going to pop over to the chat now and start answering some of your questions. Good to see some familiar names, and I saw Akshat was in very early, so appreciate you joining, mate. How are you doing? I'm good. I'm a little bit stressed with getting the stream live and making my transfers. I need to remember to make the transfers, don't let me forget. If we're getting to 11:15 and I've not made them yet, give me a shout in the chat. Akshat said, will you play Marching for Trippier and make it 3-5-2 or make it a 4-4-2? I think you've got to play Trippier. In my opinion, he's where you need to go. That would be my decision to make this week, I think. Shamalan is in, as is Janoy, Mark, Linford, Saranash. Alicia is in, as is Josh, Bervin, Phil, Gaynor, Janoy, Darren, Jonathan as well. So good to see some new faces in. So if you are new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's good to see so many of you in this morning. So I'm going to start answering some of these questions while we're waiting for everyone to vote in the poll. And in the meantime, if you keep asking your questions, then hopefully we'll have a lot of them covered before the deadline. Janoy says start Kane or Tony. It's a really difficult one. I think Tony has the edge on the fixtures. I think that's where you need to go, if I'm honest. Mark has said, happy game week 34 and enjoy watching everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning. Linford says, I still have all my chips left. Activated my wildcard this week. Any final suggestions on when and what chips I should play next? Well, Obviously, we've still got the double game weeks to come in 36, 37 and 38. So I'd maybe look to... I mean, triple captain Haaland in 37 is prime. So I think bench boost, maybe set that up for 36 potentially when Brighton and Newcastle double. Make sure you've got 3 Brighton, 3 Newcastle in your wildcard, which you probably would have. Free hits quite nice for game week 38, last game of the season. We tend to see a few surprise results and things in there, and that can really help us. So that would be kind of my other bit of advice on that one. But yeah, I'm very jealous of anyone playing chips. I think I'm a little bit worried, if I'm honest, guys, because there's going to be a lot of chips active. I guess my advantage is that I've not taken a hit, but after my 94 last week, I'm certainly hopeful of a big score this week as well. So, I mean, it could all come and unravel quite soon, but I think, you know, the fantasy gods have been on my side in recent games, so hopefully that will continue. Sarah Nash says, Martial or Jota need a differential. Will the former start both matches? I don't think either of those are nailed on to start both matches. I think in terms of differentials, there's probably better options for elsewhere in our squads. I maybe wouldn't use this opportunity as a differential in the forward line. To be honest, I'd rather have Isaac, who's looks nailed on to play this week, having been rested midweek. That would be what I would do. Is Twitter down? I'm a bit concerned. Is Twitter working for everyone else, or is it just me? Because we need that for the early team news. I mean, it looks like it's working on my phone, but who knows? I'll try and get it sorted. Alicia says Gakpo or... Sorry, I've lost my place in the chat. Gakpo for Salah or Watkins for Jota. No Salah, keeping Kane. I would go Watkins for Jota. Keep Kane, bench Saka or Martinelli. I think the fact that Saka's on pens means that you have to go with Saka, in my opinion. That's what I'd do on that one. If you're in the chat, if you've got Twitter, can you just do me a favour and check that it's working? Because I seem to have got logged out of all my Twitter accounts for some reason. It does seem to be loading on my phone now. So I don't know if it's just me, but obviously it'd be good to have the tweet deck up for you guys as well. See what's going on over there. Cannot get logged in. That's really weird. I might have to try another browser. Josh said Martinelli or Rashford. It's got to be Rashford. He's got the double game week. Bervin says hello. Phil says Kane and Martinelli out for Salah and Isaac for a -4. I think that's okay. I think the reason I'm not doing it is that if I was to make a similar move, it would then involve having to sell Bruno Fernandes or Grealish, which I don't really want to do. Actually, I said Twitter is working. Great. It's just my computer then. That's not... Honestly, I've had this computer loaded up 3 times already this morning. It's obviously on a... I've done a 6-day week, so that's why it's not liking me. Yeah, basically everywhere I go, Twitter's not loading. We're going to blame Elon Musk. Got to blame Elon. If anyone's on like a desktop version, let me know. Is a desktop Twitter working? Gaynor has said Saka to Grealish or Gakpo. It's got to be Grealish in my opinion. Janoy says start Kane or Tony. I think we have to go for Tony because he's got the easier fixtures. Now, I do like to use the points prediction tool on Fantasy Football Hub for any of those kind of borderline 50-50 decisions. The bookies odds tend to be a really good route as well. But if you go on, if you're a Fantasy Football Hub member, and don't worry if you're not, because you can see it now, but you will be able to get 30% off a membership if you so want it by using the link in the description to this video. You can filter this by any position, and it basically tells you the highest predicted point scorers for the week. Again, my computer's not playing ball with me. So if we filter by forwards for game week 34, we can see that Tony is predicted to score 7.8 points at home to Nottingham Forest. And we're going to have to scroll down to find Kane, who's on 5.4 predicted points. So hopefully that solves any dilemmas of Kane v Tony. I'm starting Kane this week. I don't own Tony. But if you want those point predictions, have a look at the points prediction tool using the link in the chat. Darren has asked Henry to Diaz for a -4. I mean, who does that mean you're going to bench if you make the move, Darren? That would be my question. It could pay off. I mean, Diaz is going to be great till the end of the season, to be fair. If we look at predicted points for defenders over the final 5 game weeks, I think Diaz is second there. At the moment, the poll is Solanke 53%, Greenwood as a dead spot for 47%. I need to weigh this up. So if I go with Greenwood, it is a dead spot, but I've kind of got 4 strong defenders in Trippier, Shaw, Trent and Shaw. Share and Shaw is too much of a tongue twister there for me. Also got to bear in mind that Mings is okay as well, Aston Villa keeping clean sheets. That gives me 1.9 million in the bank. Now, it's not going to allow me to do something like Fernandes out and De Bruyne in future. But having Solanke as first sub, v doing something else. Sorry, I've just got distracted by the chat because Salbil says no video. Please don't say we've got more tech problems. Is that 1.9 million in the bank better than having Solanke as a sub? Because I've kind of, if you go on the, I can go on the My Team tool on the hub and visualise this for every week. Basically showing you my team for the rest of the season if I make these moves. And I don't think in the next few weeks I'm going to need Solanke. So I'm just going to mock this up. I will get back to your questions, guys, don't worry. Oh, it does make me a little bit nervous, though, having the dead spot in my team. So I'm not going to play Solanke this week. I'm going to play Trippier and Kane. And then the next week, Solanke plays Chelsea. Well, I doubt he's going to get in my 11 again there. Game week 36 is when we've got doubles for Newcastle and Brighton. I'll probably bring in another Newcastle player. Shaw plays Wolves at home. Probably not going to start Solanke there away at Crystal Palace, looking at my other options. 37 is similar in terms of lots of doublers. Probably not going to start Solanke again there. Game week 38, potentially, but probably not. So that's why I'm thinking I'm just going to go for the dead spot. So I'm going to, I know 106 of you have voted, but I'm probably going to go against the poll there. I need to make these transfers at some point, but it is only 1:15, so I'm not going to worry too much at the moment. I think we'll be okay for now. Jonathan has asked if Steele is a good pick. Yeah, there's a risk that he would lose his place because of the fact that just in terms of what's happened in the last few weeks, he's got that potential to lose his place. But, you know, it's one of them. He's one bad performance away from not being number one. So it does make him a little bit more difficult to buy, potentially. But we do also have to bear in mind the kind of the utility that we can get out of him in the next few games as well. It's a difficult one to weigh up. I can understand the frustration for some, but I do think that you're probably best off just backing Steele still. Let's try and get the stream to 50 likes, guys. I think we're on 40 at the moment, so we're nearly there. So if you haven't done so already, there's 100 of you in, so I'm thrilled to see so many of you joining me this morning. Hopefully we can get a few more of your questions answered before the deadline as well. But it's a fun one. I'm interested to know as well how many people are on chips this week. Josh has asked, I want Rashford, but I'll have to sell Martinelli to get to him. Is it worth it? I think it probably is. I can't see much utility out of Martinelli for the next few weeks, looking at the fixtures. I mean, he'll probably deliver at some point. He's not just going to blank between now and the end of the season. But when you look at the upside of someone like Rashford, who's got 4 fixtures, two doubles, the Martinelli, who you're probably going, I can't even find him now. He's still the top scoring midfielder, isn't he? But, I mean, Chelsea at home this week is not a bad fixture. I think he'll do well in that one. But then Newcastle away, Brighton at home, not convinced by those two. 37, you could find a route back to him, but not by selling Rashford. I just want to see how Arsenal performed in the reverse fixtures. So they lost 1-0 to Chelsea. Newcastle was 0-0, wasn't it? And then Brighton, they won Brighton 4-2. Martinelli got a goal and an assist in that one. I think Brighton will be a good game for Arsenal from an attacking perspective. Maybe not so much from a defensive perspective. Thank you. We've got ourselves to 50 likes. Appreciate all of your support there on that one. Let's keep going with some questions then. DK, good to see you. I've not seen you for a while. Thank you for joining me this morning. Isaac or Watkins this week? Isaac for sure. I think there was concern that he wouldn't start because of his benching midweek, but I think he's always going to share minutes with Wilson now, but I think the fact that he's had that recent bench is a good thing in terms of his potential going forward. So I don't think we can complain too much. I think Southampton at home is a really great fixture for him, and he should do quite well. The chat is going. I'm going to struggle to keep up with all these questions. I'll try. If I lose my place in the chat, then I'm screwed. We'll be all right. We'll try our best. Johan says, who's the best third Arsenal player, Darwin or still Jota? Now this one is really difficult because we didn't see any pictures of Jota in training. Sorry, I'm just going to make sure that this tweet deck's open now. In terms of the algorithm, I'm back on Twitter, by the way, to get the tweet deck and see if there's any punts that we can take, any news. Remember, the early kickoff is Crystal Palace v West Ham. In terms of Liverpool players for this week, it's Salah, Trent, Robertson on the matrix, and I think if it was on a wild card or a free hit, then I would go with that combo. Jota is on a 6.5 with a projected 118 minutes. Gakpo is on 9.8 with a predicted 146 minutes. Now, I don't think we've had any additional news on Jota since yesterday, where Klopp basically said that he'd had some sort of issue with his back. So I think that's something that could keep his minutes down, because we saw him subbed on the 58-minute mark before in the previous game, and then Klopp also said that obviously he's got that problem with his back. So that does put me off Jota. But there's plenty of managers that will still be going for it. I wouldn't go with Darwin at all, though. Absolutely not. Right, just having a look through the tweet deck. Doesn't seem to be too much happening at the moment. I doubt we'll get much news anyway. I don't know if we're particularly interested in any of the news. Right, the poll. It's 51% Solanke, 49% Greenwood. I think I'm going to take the funds, you know, guys, because my team value is really bad. And at the end of the day, my team's really well set up for the end of the season as things stand. Stuff will happen, though, which will mean that it's not looking quite so good. So for that reason, I think I probably need to think about having those funds in the bank. I think I'm going to try and see if I can get the camera working as well. Let's make the transfers first. I hate doing these on stream as well because I always worry I'm going to press the wrong button. So out is Henry and Watkins. In is Trent and Greenwood. We're done. So that is my team now for this week. So we've got Steele in goal. We've got Trent, Shaw, Trippier on the back line. March, Matoma, Fernandez, Rashford, vice-captain, Grealish, and then up front, Kane and Haaland. I am actually tempted to vice-captain Trent, you know. I mean, I fully expect Haaland to play full minutes, but there's something quite attractive about that. So that is going to be my team, guys. Now, I am just going to try and get the camera working again because I'm using it on my phone, but it just wouldn't work for me before. But it looks like it possibly might now. So you should get me looking better for the rest of the stream. Right, let's see what this is going to do. Cross your fingers, guys. Yes, it's working. Just need to reposition. There we go. That looks better, doesn't it? Everyone happy? Does that look better? I'm going to have to do this on every tab, though, which is the problem. We'll maybe leave it like that. I'm not going to put the chat up, but hopefully you can all see that now. What do you think to my team, guys? One thing I want to do, I asked these questions yesterday. I'll ask them again today. Are you on a chip this week? Yes or no? We'll put that live for 5 minutes, see what the results of that one are, and then I'll maybe ask another question shortly, which will be something like, are you on a points hit this week? So I haven't taken a hit, but that means one Liverpool player and no Salah. So, you know, there are compromises there. We're enjoying the camera improvement, which is good to see. I don't know what was going on. I was all set for the stream, and then my computer just like went basically dead, and I had to restart, and then I was late, and then the camera wouldn't work, and I was stressing. But this is why basically my plan for next season is to do deadline streams every week, as I've been doing for the last few weeks. But these are like my practice rounds, so that when it comes to next season, like the quality is really, really good. But I'm so pleased to see so many of you in. 129 in for the deadline stream. I think it's some sort of record. I think maybe a few of the other big YouTubers are doing other things, which means you've come to me, but I really do appreciate it. We're on 73 likes. I think we can get the stream to 100 likes. Let's get some more questions. So Mark has said triple Liverpool, Brighton, City, Trippier and Botman for the starting 11. So that means that you're going to have no United players. I mean, Rashford is a really good pick. I would try and get Rashford in if I'm honest. Nelson is on free hit. I don't see any double game week forward other than Haaland, who I'd pick over the mids and defenders, so going 4-5-1. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, 3-5-2 with Isaac does sound good. If we pop over to the My Team tool on the hub, and again, if you're a member, you'll be able to get this every week. I'm a hub ambassador. But this is the latest best wildcard team, and as you've said, it is a 4-5-1. Interestingly, it's double City defence, double Liverpool defence. So, yeah, that is the team. So if you're on a wildcard, that's the team. And if you're on a free hit, this is the team. I think they're pretty much the same. I can't see any differences in there. Well, it's just because we've only got 5 game weeks to go. It's the bench players that maybe change. I've got Solanke first sub. I've turned my back on him. But if he's just on my bench anyway. I don't think I'm going to get through all of these question guys before the end of the stream, but I'll do my best. Keep them coming though. I'm a bit of a novice. I'm not used to having so many people in. But I know I am really thrilled that everyone's joined me this morning. We're on to 83 likes as well, which is pretty phenomenal. So thank you for all your support on the channel. Eddie has said, should I start Andreas or Zuma this week? I would start Andreas. I think he's on pens. That Liverpool defence is ropey. Josh, stop spamming the chat, please. Sheriff is on a free hit. Edison, Trent, Robertson, Shaw, Diaz, Rashford, Salah, Bruno, March, Mateo, Haaland. Sounds solid. Ajay says, who to replace Salah with? Grealish or Bruno? I mean, I think if you're really that set on getting Salah, Grealish is the one to make way, but I personally don't think it's that worth it. Like, I know his ownership's been going up, but everyone's going to pretty much be captaining Salah, Haaland anyway. So in terms of ownership, if he does bang and you don't own him, he's not going to really punish you. 50-50 for a chip this week is phenomenal. Next question then is, are you taking a hit this week? And we're going to have no, -4, -8, -12 or more. There's some big ones out there, but if you've left a bench boost late or whatever, then you may need it just to get through and survive the next few weeks. I'm so pleased I've got the camera working. It was stressing me out. Gabrielle says, would you do Kepa to De Gea? Yeah, I think I probably would, to be fair. When did Chelsea last keep a clean sheet? Against Liverpool. They've got 1 clean sheet in 7. They're not looking good under Lampard. Chloe says, who would be my first sub? And the options are Watkins or Trippier. I think you've got to play Trippier and bench Watkins. That's what I would do anyway. Let's hop over to the tweet deck. See if anything's coming through. No, all looks pretty quiet at the moment. I think we're good. Beldwine says, triple captain Haaland now or in 37. So 37 fixtures are Chelsea and Brighton, which seem tougher. And you've got to bear in mind, between game week 35 and 36, and between 36 and 37, they played both legs of their Champions League game against Real Madrid. Which is something that's also, we've got to bear in mind as well. So I think for me, that's the reason why I think probably this week is better. Because you've got the fixtures, you've got the congestion. If we look at the predictions again, this could be pretty telling as well. So game week 34, Haaland's predicted to score 13.5 points. And game week 37, only 11 points. I mean, I'd be pretty disappointed if Haaland only got 13 points this week. Especially if he played close to 180 minutes, as that suggests. I have Martinelli in my team. Which is the best option for a doubler? I mean, I think I'd probably go Rashford and Fernandes first and then possibly Grealish. But if you've not got triple Brighton, then, you know, March and Matoma as well. There's the midfield predicted points for this week. Janoy says start Kane or Tony. I've done that one already. Tony. Light Rays, good to see you. Bench is Stupin and Shaw or Trippier. I think I'd bench Trippier. I think you've got to back the fixtures. With 6 likes off 100 likes, guys. Help me on the way. Really appreciate it. Enox says, is it worth it to bench Water? I've mixed Watkins and Jota there and come up with Water. Is it worth it to bench Watkins for Jota? Yeah, probably. Shyamalan says Trent and March are they must-haves. Pretty much. Member Sam has left a question. What are the projections for clean sheets this week? So, on the fixture analyzer on the hub, we filter by clean sheets for 34. It's Man City followed by Liverpool, Brighton, Manchester United. I don't know if I saw, obviously all the content that everyone's been producing and has been a bit off this week with it being such a tight turnaround. So I don't know if FPL Salah had posted any clean sheet predicted odds on Twitter. Kieran says bench Trippier or Isaac. I think Trippier's just got a few more routes to points, so I'd maybe go Trippier. I'd play Trippier and bench Isaac. Beldwine, triple captain oh, we've done that one. If you're going to keep spamming the chat, then you're just not going to have your questions answered. Jay says, who to replace Salah with, Grealish or Bruno? Said Grealish, didn't I? Amelia, I've got all my defensive players on a 1 game week. Hang on. Lost my place in the chat again. It's on Amelia, weren't we? Where are we? I can never keep up with you guys. Right, I've just seen the amount of questions in the chat. There's no way that I'm going to get all of them answered in the next 25 minutes. Let me put my team back on screen. Should I take a -4 for a double game week play? I don't really rate the double game week defenders that much, but I think Ruben Diaz is a good place to look. It'd be nice to get one. Riaz says Solanke might be a great shout against the leaky Leeds defence. Yes, but if you've got him this week, are you actually going to play him over the double game week options? Ali has asked, Isaac or Keane or Martinelli on the bench? I think you've got to start Isaac of those ones. Amelia says, do I play Saka over a third striker? I don't know if I'd be backing Arsenal assets this week if you don't need to. Interesting to see the poll results. 57% of managers are taking a hit. 43% aren't. So if you're not taking a hit, you'll be on a green arrow post deadline. Shall we put the captain poll up now as well? Who is your double game week 34 captain? And the options are going to be same as yesterday when I did this on the press conference stream. Haaland be Fulham and West Ham. Salah v Spurs and Fulham. And then we'll have other as well. Let me know in the chat as well if who is your option. We've absolutely smashed it, guys. 115 likes. Thank you so much, everyone that's tuned in today and supported the channel. Daniel's asked if I'm a Wolves fan. I've done quite a bit of content for Wolves on their YouTube channel, so I've got that interest of, you know, if they're in the Premier League, then it keeps me in a job. So yeah, it's converted me into a Wolves fan, but I've certainly not grown up a Wolves fan. Sammy says triple captain, a good option this game week. Would you do it on Salah, Rashford or Haaland? I mean, the algorithm prefers Salah, but, you know, Haaland, best player that the Premier League's ever seen. You cannot pass up an opportunity to triple captain him. -8 is fine this week. Akshat, how many double game week players can we have in the 11? I think if you're on like a free hit or a wild card, then 11. I think at least 8. Gets to a point where you're holding players that there's no real reason to hold. Shyamalan says scary Martinelli score this week v Chelsea, probably just to troll and punish us all. Nightmares. I'll be having nightmares. When do they... It's Tuesday, isn't it? Like the fixture schedule. I don't know if anyone's looked this week, but it's a bit weird because the 10th fixture of the normal fixtures is Arsenal against Chelsea. And that's because it's a bank holiday weekend in the UK. So that's why there's like... That Arsenal-Chelsea game was like the Monday night game, which has now become the Tuesday night football. It's a bit weird how they do it like that, but, you know, It is what it is. And then obviously we've then got a load of double game week fixtures. So we've got 6 consecutive days of Premier League football, which is amazing if you love football. I like the evening games as well because it means I can definitely watch them. Don't have to be, get the kids in bed early, don't have to be being a responsible adult. Khalid said start Kane or Trippier. Probably have to be Trippier, doesn't it? Omar, Bruno or KDB? Already have Rashford and Mahrez. For this week, I think maybe KDB. Optic says get a Kanji in for a -4 or just start Trippier and Isaac. I think I'd just start Trippier and Isaac. Cheyenne says is Trent a must. He is for me. He's got 5 assists in 4 since moving into midfield. He's basically playing out of position. Like, if Liverpool could start keeping some clean sheets, then he'd be on some ridiculous scores. 20 minutes to deadline, guys. Keep the questions coming. I'll do my best to get as far as I can. But I'm still at the top at the minute. Jake says, would you take a -4 to swap Kane and Botman for Isaac and Trent? Or roll the transfer? Just roll the transfer, Jake, I think. Ali, Isaac or Keane or Martinez? I've done that one. John Boy McCracken has asked, would you transfer Bruno for Rashford? No, I don't think so. Armand, what do you think of Dalot over Shaw? I think that's fine. Shaw can be a bit of a bonus magnet if he keeps clean sheets in defence, so don't know if he will this week though. Desire says likely to do a -8. Should I play triple captain this week? And if so, Haaland or Salah? Haaland is 90% for captain on the poll, if that helps. This is why I don't fear Salah. Sammy has said triple captain a good option this week. If so, I've done that one. Am I going mad? Wally said Isaac or Lindelof. Isaac. I don't think we can expect much from United clean sheets. Len Kang, Raya to Edison for a -4. I mean, I really do like Raya's clean sheet chances, but triple City for the rest of the season with the extra fixtures probably will pay off. Khalid's got no Salah but Jotto and Gakpo as a differential. I prefer Gakpo of the two. Darren says you're so helpful. Thank you, Darren. Isaac or Wilson? I don't think I'd buy either this week. I don't think you want Newcastle strikers long term because they're going to share game time. But Isaac for this week, if you're on a free hit or something. Right, so we've got 28 minutes till the deadline. See if anything is happening on Twitter. Some pictures of United players in training. That's about it though. Eddie, thank you for joining. If I get Trent, which one to get? Gakpo, Luis Diaz or Grealish? I think Gakpo or Grealish. I think I prefer Grealish. I think it's kicking off at United with Maguire. Put my team back on there now. Command says Saka to Grealish or Gakpo. I think I go Grealish again. Darren asked De Gea or Alisson. You see, Alisson's the better keeper, but he does take up a Liverpool spot. De Gea's got the extra fixture. Maybe De Gea. Musa says Isaac or Tony. That is a tough one. Tony's on pens, right? I think I'd go Tony. Sam has said, is Dallo a good punt? Yeah, he's cheap, isn't he? If we look at United players. I mean, the algorithm says 6.4 points for Shaw, 5.7 for Lindelof, Dallo at 3.5. Potential minutes risk? I don't think he is, though. I think Dallo's fine. Shyamalan reminds us that Newcastle got double game week 36. It is important. Shifire. I have Darwin Núñez. Still spot for Isaac. I think if you've had Núñez this long, then just keep him. Especially with Jota being a bit of a doubt. FPL Boo Boo said, my favourite female FPL content creator. Thank you. There's not many of us, so my aim is to be your number one FPL content creator, regardless of gender. Chloe says Chelsea's defence isn't good at the moment. I agree. Rafid says Salah or Haaland for triple captain. Well, if you look at the poll results, 91% are going Haaland captain, 8% Salah, only 1% going other. It's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy, that one. I'm getting a bit further down the list of questions, guys, so keep them coming. We'll see how we get on. It's a little bit of a challenge for me. But, you know, I'm really grateful to everyone that has chosen to join me this morning. Eli, Wan-Bissaka, Dallo or Lindelof? I think I prefer Dallo out of those. Darren has asked, oh, we've had that one already, I think. Amelia says White or Chilwell. I mean, it's not the most exciting combination, if I'm honest. George has said, take a hit for Ake to Diaz or just run Henry. I think I would take the hit for Diaz. I think it's worth it. Marvin says Robertson or Jota in. I'd go Robertson. Chris has asked Dallo or a Estupinan. I think a Estupinan has got more utility if you've not got triple Brighton. Justin has joined from New Zealand. Thank you. My gut says Tony is going to play well. Who would you choose? Tony, Isaac or Jota? Tony or Isaac for me. Omara, one free transfer. Should I downgrade Saka and upgrade Brendan B? Is it B Williams? Are you sure it's not Neko Williams to Trent? And do get Gay to Shaw? Who's coming in for Saka? Is it just a dead spot? I don't think we're going to... I know I can see a lot of questions about Jota in the chat. The game isn't until 4:30 tomorrow. All we know is that there was training pictures yesterday from Liverpool and Jota wasn't in them. But this has happened before and then players have come on to play. So I don't even know if we've got... This was it. So I don't think Jota was in this video that was posted to the Liverpool account. But there's only like 6 players on that anyway. I don't even know if this will let me see it. You might have to be a member. Yeah, you do. So I think that's literally all we're going off, unless there were some others. There'll be more pictures somewhere, but basically Jota wasn't in any of them. Oh, these are they the pictures? These could be them. Gallery, training photos. So this was training yesterday for Liverpool. And one of the only players that you don't see on here is Jota. And he had that problem with his back. And the training was after Pep's Klopp's press conference on Friday morning, where he said that Jota got a knock to his back. Now, there's still training today, and he could have just been given an extra day's rest because of his back, and he could be absolutely fine. So it's up to you with how much you read into this. I'm just showing you what I know. But yeah, we've not heard anything else on Jota since about his availability or lack of availability. That I'm just presenting the facts at the moment. Plenty of people will go. Jota could probably deliver. And the Spurs game is the trickier fixture anyway, surely. So, well, maybe not from an offensive point of view, but yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. Right, the chat is just going mad. There's no way I can keep up with you guys. I'll put my team back on screen now so everyone can see. So I've not taken a hit. And I don't own Mo Salah. It's going to just cause me pain. Glyn says Tony or Isaac. I would go with Tony. Tony's going to play 90 yet. Isaac won't. In terms of other questions, Fionki had put a -4 in the chat. I think that's fine. Under says Foden or Grealish. I'd go Grealish. I think he's just missed one game on the bench since the restart. 10 minutes to deadline. We might get to 150 likes at this stage, guys. If you haven't joined a deadline stream from me before, maybe if this is the first time that you are watching my content, thank you for choosing to spend the deadline with me. Do hit that subscribe button as well. Cheerfire says, what's your take on Núñez? I don't rate him. I wouldn't be anywhere near my team. Pranav says start Iverson or Kepa. I mean, who's the best of a bad bunch? Got to be Iverson, surely. Harry is asked start Isaac or Trippier. Trippier's got more routes to points, so he would be the one. Khalid said no Salah. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm going to put one more poll up. I did this yesterday as well. It's Mo Salah or no Salah. Basically, I want to know, is Mo Salah in your team, or are you going to be joining me behind the sofa for this game? It's not going to be fun, I can tell. Tweet deck. Anything going on? Nope, not really. Oh, quiet. Muniel has said start Isaac or Watkins. I'd start Isaac in that case. Sunil says, would you keep Jota? Yeah, if you've got him, keep him. I think I might need to get myself an admin because I am struggling to keep up with the chat and there's a lot of repetition in the questions. If you are interested in being an admin for the stream, just reach out to me on Twitter and we'll try and get something set up. I need admins for this one, the deadline stream, and also for the press conference stream, which is on a Friday at 1 o'clock UK time. Smokashish says, I'm stuck with Evan Ferguson. Should I start him or Isaac? I think I'd probably start Isaac. I don't think Ferguson will be in the squad for the first game. And then even if he is, he's going to be limited minutes. Rupert, thanks for joining me. Alvarez on a free hit. I don't think I'd do it personally. You'd probably get about 30 minutes out of him, unless you've got some insight. Mahrez is far more likely to come on if he's benched. Thanks for joining though, Rupert. Chifire's saying best captain picks. Haaland number 1, Salah number 2, Rashford 3, Trent if you're feeling crazy. Johnny says reckon Jota will be training today. I do not know. Eddie has asked, if I get Trent for Ake, which one to get for Saka? Would you go Gakpo, Diaz, Grealish or Foden? I think I'd go Grealish because I think he's the one that I prefer to own for the run-in. Akshat said the camera looks good, thank you. I'm so pleased we've got it working. We're so close now to 150 likes. So help me out, guys. And subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Gary says Trent vice-captain. Shyamalan's on triple captain Haaland. I really hope it pays off. Zway says, is a -8 this week worth it? Probably. We're 5 minutes out now to the deadline, guys, by the way. So any last minute questions, now is the time to answer them. Obviously, members have got priority. Johnny says Kane's odds on scoring against Van Dijk and Kanate is low. Is it? Liverpool haven't kept a clean sheet for ages. Damiola, is Rashford essential? I've got a midfield of March, Mateo, Salah, Bruno, Grealish. I don't think I'd lose any for Salah, Rashford. You can't own them all, can you? Linford says, my team is pretty much the same as you. I've got Dallo instead of Shaw and Isaac instead of Kane and Salah instead of Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, that's going to be the one that's going to kill me this week, I think. I'll put the tweet deck up, but I think it's quiet. No news, really, as things stand. Oh, dear. I'm worried. I am worried this week. And it's like, you know when you've had a good game week and it's nice to log on to the site and just see how good it was? I've had like 36 hours to enjoy this. And then it's going to be gone. It's probably going to be a stinker of a game week for me, but, you know, hopefully not too bad. I need Salah to blank. Colm says, on a free hit, go Bruno in 4-5-1 and Jota in 4-4-2. Bruno every day. One of the FPL guys is in. Not the FPL guy. Took a -4, bringing in Trent and Solanke for Chilwell and Watkins. 9 doublers sounds good. Sam says, great stream, Holly. Keep up the good work. Hope all your punts work out. Thank you, Sam. I was a bit conscious that it was a bit mad at the start of the stream. I don't know what's going on with my computer at the moment. I think I'm causing it too much pain. It's overworked. It's like the 7th day in a row that I've been producing content. Johnny says the Jota news is scaring me. It's like, there's nothing concrete though, at all. If I've got it bookmarked somewhere. Klopp's comments. Somewhere. Where has it gone? Here it is, look. Diogo Jota got a bad knock on his back against West Ham, but should be alright. We will see how that develops. Apart from that, we should be okay. Linford says, don't jinx it, Holly, the Salah blank. It's not going to happen at all. Final check on Twitter. Got nothing for you guys in terms of early team news. If it's not there, I can't give you it. I'm just going to jump to the bottom of the chat now, I think. Oh, Sam has asked thoughts on double United defence. I don't love it. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet this week. Sunri says, who is benched by Guardiola when Foden plays? Mahrez. Tends to be that Grealish has the left side and then it's Mahrez and Foden and Alvarez in some instances who share the other side. Lots of triple captains about. I'm jealous. Trick says, is it worth taking a hit to bring Grealish in for Martinelli? I think I would probably do it. I would start Trippier over... Oh, would I start Trippier over Martinelli? Yeah, I think I would do. Banu, Jota or Robertson? Robertson for me. Taku, which double is best for bench boost? 34, 36, 37. This week if you can do it, but 1 minute to deadline. We are running out of time. One last check on the tweet deck, see if there's anything going on. Nothing. No early team news. I need to take a screenshot of this actually so I can post it to Twitter. There we go, that'll do. Let's get that out at the deadline so everyone can see. I really do appreciate it though, everyone that's joined me today. I know it was a bit chaotic at the start. But this is why I'm doing these practice ones. Because I just want to get that content perfect for you guys next season. And I knew I'd need a little bit of help along the way. It is 11 o'clock. The deadline has passed. Thank you to everyone that's joined me this morning. It's been a blast. Probably not going to have any content on the channel again till Monday now. Maybe a little bit later than that. It just depends how this game week goes. But I hope everyone has a great game week. Especially those on the chips as well. I'm jealous. Thank you everyone. Good luck. And I'll be back soon. Hope you have a great game week.